Okay, so this is my Eheim Pro 2 2028. It is leaking. And as you can see, I got it in a little tray. And this tray is got a little pump in it because it fills up. And that's about 12 hours worth. And I keep coming down and filling it up. And it's leaking. And if you look right in here, you can see kind of dark, but the water's coming from the inside. So I've actually pulled all the lid off and put silicone lubrication O-ring grease on all the O-rings, and it still leaks. I actually had a leak on the ABS fitting as well. So maybe I'll zoom in on this. And right here, you can see there's some ABS glue there because that fitting was leaking as well, and I fixed that because it was cracked and leaking out there. But anyway, I've got some new O-rings and I'm going to replace them. There. Hey YouTube, this is one of my first videos, so you have to bear with me. This is going to be a change out of the O-rings on an Eheim Professional II 2028 model. And it's been leaking, and I tried putting some silicone O-ring lube on it, and it didn't seem to work at all, so I took it all apart and tried to fix it, but it still leaks. Basically it fills up the housing right here and leaks out over the top, so it's not the gasket on the underside that's leaking, because it's coming out through the top. So I'm going to take it apart and get some O-rings. These O-rings were all purchased online from the O-ring store. Not sure if you can read that all right, but it's a great little place, super cheap, and I'll give you the dimensions. These ones are 4.5 by 92 millimeter, and I got some 3 by 25 for the double tap connector, and then some smaller ones. Minimum quantity of 7, that's why I got so many of them on some of these, but super cheap. Shipping was a little expensive to Canada, but that's alright. So I'm just going to start taking this apart. Use a drill at your own risk. We've got 2 screws on the top. And then there's 4 screws on the bottom. Three and 4. And then you should just be able to lift this top piece off. And you can see what that looks like. And then we need to pop this top piece off here. So we got 3 more of these screws here. That's the same as the ones that were on the underside of the lid. And this comes out, so you can see how this whole interior is all wet. So it's either leaking around this O-ring here, or around this O-ring here, or from the double tap connector. So I'm just going to replace them all. The springs in here for the priming button, and then I'm going to remove a couple more here for the power cord. Alright, and you should just be able to take these springs out. Just push that right down through. Okay, so now we've got this apart. We can also don't want to break it. And pop this bad boy off. Okay, so I'm just going to do some cleaning here. And pop these. Nice and tight that one was. I'm going to replace it with a 2.5 millimeter by 12 millimeter. As you can see, old versus new. I'll set the old over there out of the way. Take a nice new one. Apply a little silicone lubricant to it. And slide it on. And pop this bad boy back in place. Okay, so that's that part. Next up, we have to replace this one. It's very soft. This is with a 4.5 millimeter by 92 millimeter. These are all Buna N O-rings. And again, you can see that these sizes are pretty good. And again, we will lubricate. Make sure you can see that okay. I know some people use Vaseline on this, which I suppose is okay. Some people think that does deterioration over the years, but for the price of these O-rings, they're just pennies a piece. If you have some on hand, probably wouldn't matter. But I like to use the good stuff. It feels much sturdier than the very soft O-ring here. I'm thinking this is where I was leaking. And I've already cleaned this all out from before. I didn't clean it there, but all right. Okay, so you have to lift this piece out. I tried putting it in the other way, but it just doesn't go very well. So it appears the best way to put it in is from the top. So I'm going to make sure this is lubricated fairly well with some silicone lube. Oh, it's got a nice tapered edge on this side too. Of course, that makes so much more sense. I thought I'd seen that somewhere on a video of someone else doing this. Okay, so try and line this up so it's close. fair bit of force required to get that in place. But once it's in, it slides quite smoothly. Don't send it down too far. I just did. There we go. So we got this lined up nicely. There, that clip. Snap that back in place. Beautiful. Okay, so now we put it all back together. Wire down in. And you should see where it was held in place before. A little kink on it there. So after putting together this bump head and putting all the things back on, I took it downstairs. I also replaced the O-rings on the 2 double tap connectors. That's pretty straightforward, so I haven't included that in the video. Put it all back together, and as you'll see at the end of this video, everything worked perfectly fine. All the leaks were fixed. The only real problem is the large O-ring on the primer is a little snug, and so it doesn't make the primer very effective. I don't really use a primer because I always leave my hoses full, so it's not a big problem for me, but it's something that you should consider because the type of O-ring that we used was definitely a little bit stiffer than the one that was there originally. So now I'll go downstairs and replace the double tap connectors. It has been almost 24 hours since I did my seal change. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but it is bone dry. Not a single drop of water has spilled. There's no water leaking over into here where it was coming out before. So all it is, I changed the 2 O-rings in the cap, the primer O-ring and the flow indicating O-ring, and then the 2 double tap connectors, and upon inspection afterwards they definitely were worn, and these all fit much snugger now, and it is a success.